Hello, it is December 14th, 2016. And while it may be the Christmas season, unfortunately, here on Long Island, at least here in Nassau, it doesn't seem like anyone has the Christmas spirit. Because the Nassau Legislature are a bunch of Grinches. They voted to approve all of Ed Mangano's cuts to the Nice Bus funding today. And they have basically said that, sorry, you're on your own, bus riders. We don't care about you. Here we have a county, one of the wealthiest counties in the nation, where there are so many luxury cars all over the road, and they could not come up with a way to fund the bus system. I think that is despicable. Now, I wish I was at the public hearing today, but I wasn't. Emotionally, I gotta be honest with you, I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle being there and dealing with this. I was at the nice public hearing, and I don't think it would have made a difference at this point, even me going there and speaking. And to tell you the truth, I don't know if I would have been able to make what I would call an appropriate speech. I would have probably been out there and pretty angry, especially when they saw that they voted for this. I probably would have yelled "fuckers" or something like that, because I cannot believe these people. Now, it was along a party line vote. I already left a message and a letter for Norma Gonzalez, but when I got home and I saw it, I made sure to call her and leave a message right away. Norma Gonzalez is the presiding supervisor of this county in the county legislature, and I told her she is a Grinch. She has no Christmas spirit. She doesn't even seem like a human being for doing this, leaving these people stranded. And then I called my own Nassau Legislature, Laura Schaefer, and I told her, they're going to cut the N35 in April. That's the route I take, and once that's gone, I will have no choice but to take that walk down Post Avenue every night. And I said, I said, as a single woman, how would you like to take that walk down a dark, deserted Post Avenue every night with illegals hanging around? How would you like that? And I was yelling a little bit, all right? And I think that what happened today is absolutely despicable. But I'm not surprised. You don't see me shocked. I actually expected that this would happen. This county legislature has shown that they cannot stand up to Ed Mangano. Norma Gonzalez, maybe she's getting paid off. Maybe she should be arrested soon. But it is clear that this legislature refuses to fund essential services like bus service. Yes, bus service is essential. Norma, it's essential. All right? It's essential because people use it to get to work. The cuts that they proposed in April, a lot of them have no alternatives. These people will be left completely stranded, Norma. And they don't have money for taxis. That's another thing I said on the message. That they don't have money for taxis. All right? What are they going to do? This is a very ignorant woman. All right? She's every bit of a ignoramus like that late Peter Schmidt. Cut from the same evil cloth, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I think the woman is evil. All right, I really do. Because anyone who could allow this to happen, to refuse to restore the funding for Nice Bus so that there are severe cuts in April, anyone who could allow this to happen obviously must be evil. And Ed Mangano is one of the most evil people on the planet. All right? We already know I've already known he's a womanizer. The man is evil. All right? And we are fighting against evil here. Here in Nassau County, we are fighting against evil. And it's not just the legislature, they represent a lot of the common attitudes that are among my fellow Long Islanders. And so now, I was doing some Googling. Actually, last night I was doing some Googling, and just looking at Nassau bus cuts and Nassau Legislature meeting, and it came up the city data forums, which I haven't been a member of for a while. I left. And I started this guy called Chris A. It's not me. I'm not Chris A. I don't know who Chris A is. Maybe he's obviously somebody who watches my videos. And I'm glad he's trying to maybe post there. But, Chris, don't waste your time with these people. All right? They don't care about us. They're representative of the kind of people that are on Long Island, unfortunately. So let's take a look at some of the comments on here.
Okay, so I was Googling some stuff and I came up across this thread in City Data created by this guy called Chris A. He must be somebody who watches my videos and posts stuff. But look at some of these comments from these people. LOL, who who still takes the bus anymore? All right. $26 million. Holy crap. What we need to do is get rid of these committee members voting no. We need committee members to close NICE and get rid of all the buses in Nassau County. That would save $26 million. $26 million. But then this person is ignorant, and Chris A. says, you do know this county is currently paying NICE only $9 million, so it's going down to $2.6 million next year, hence the draconian cuts. Westchester's county beeline system costs about $35 million. Yeah, how come Westchester can afford it while Nassau can barely afford to pay that? Good question, Chris. I don't know. He asked some good questions. I don't know who he is here on YouTube, but you can't reason with these people here on this forum. You can't reason with them. Somebody said here, look up what the N88 covered. Seems it covers Jones Beach, so it's seasonal only. If they see it was not well utilized enough, people need to find an alternative means of transit if they are going to live on Long Island. Well, we had a transit system. It was destroyed. On the contrary, N88 gets pretty crush-loaded. Here's another one. Once again, there is a failure on your part to recognize. If they build it, they will come. School of Thought has literally left the station and will never return. If one can't afford to own a car, take taxis or Uber, and is unable to drive, then Long Island is not the place for you to be living. It says it right here. Right here. Let me see if I can zoom that in for you. Let me see if I can zoom that in. I think I can zoom it in. Yeah, you should be able to see that. Here you go, right here. This is the attitude. If you don't drive, leave Long Island. We had a system, but sorry, the rich people took over, and, the buses should be shut down with the necessary funds diverted to a scale down. Yeah. Chris A., don't even try to reason with these people. And then this is where it involves me. If you're going to talk about me behind my back on the forum, I have every right to talk about you. So how will your friend get to the beach? Your friend, which I guess she's referring to me. Oh yeah, Mangano's cab company. Well, maybe try to make some real friends to drive. Right. Restructure your life, blah, blah, blah. Some people, here we go with that be grateful stuff. Now, what can I do to make my life great again? Do something constructive. Rich people that have money pay to live in an area where they feel that they can avoid people that are less than them and want their kids to live as best as possibly can. There's nothing wrong with that. So she basically thinks it's okay to have discrimination. See, she's talking about me again, behind my back. These are the kind of people they are. These are the kind of people they are. This is a good example of the attitudes that are on Long Island. This is the kind of attitudes that they have. So you can look at these comments here. This is just this is the way people think on Long Island. I think it's wrong. She has a right to her opinion, obviously. But this is the attitude about bus service. And it's disgusting.
So you see some of the comments basically about, well, it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. It's basically the attitude. If you don't have a car, you don't belong on Long Island. That's the attitude of these people. People have been living on Long Island without cars for years. This is a bus system that has been in place for a very long time. The cuts they are making are the most severe in the history of bus service in Nassau County. And Nassau County is more populated than ever. All right? So, honestly, guys, you think taking away all this bus service isn't going to have an effect. Well, it is going to have an effect. People won't get to work. You're talking about thousands of people that are going to lose their jobs. They can't get to work. A lot of them are going to go on welfare. And unfortunately, a number of them are probably going to turn back to crime again. They're going to start dealing drugs, maybe robbing people. And maybe if they want to get to work or desperate, maybe they'll carjack a taxi or carjack you. Yeah. So, that's what can happen. Or they'll steal your car. These people are going to be desperate to get around. I don't condone crime. I'm against crime. But this is going to cause a huge crime wave. And if you think it's not going to affect you, well, then you're wrong. It's going to affect you a lot. All right? And the attitude toward the disabled, oh, well, make your own life better. People who are disabled can't do that. This is the attitude that exists on Long Island. It is a real problem. We have changed. This used to be such a wonderful place to live. I don't want to move away from Long Island. And I will continue to fight. If Westbury does not improve next year, I will continue to fight. Well, I will continue. I may even real soon start reaching out to some lawyers, because being denied housing, and these people post that it's okay. Being denied housing in a community because you're disabled, that's illegal. That's a violation of the Fair Housing Act. It just so happens probably no one's decided to get a lawyer and fight. I'm going to try to fight that. All right? That's wrong. All right? That's wrong. That's a violation right there. All right? We live in an island where the laws are not being enforced. We have redlining. We have discrimination against disabled people. We have illegals being given sanctuary in various towns like mine. Because the rich, it's all because of what the rich want. I feel like I'm the Rockville Center Depot almost. The Rockville Center Depot is basically closing, and it would have closed eventually anyway, even if Nikes probably didn't have a budget gap, because all these rich people moved in and built luxury apartments around the depot and said, well, time for the depot. We don't want buses around here. And they wanted the depot closed. And even though they came in after the depot, they forced the depot out. That's the way these rich people are. It's symbolic of what they're doing all across Long Island. They take over all the decent communities, and then they said, oh, sorry, you're not one of us. These rich people from Wall Street, commuter types, executives, they come in, sorry, you can't live here now. This is ours. But I was here first. And what about all the other people who were here first? We don't care about them. That's their attitude. And so same thing about the buses. The same thing. These people disgust me, and it's a shame. It really does. Long Island seems like there is no... I know there's nice people on Long Island. I'm not saying everybody on Long Island is bad. But it seems that Long Island has become one of the meanest places in this country. One of the most heartless places in this country to do this to people. And the discrimination is rampant, all right, against people. And the attitude is rampant. And people will say to people like me who are disabled, be grateful for what you have. You know, I am very grateful for what I have. I know things could be a lot worse. But just because things could be a lot worse doesn't make it right what's going on. What you're basically saying, and I know the people from the forum are watching this, that's okay, let them talk about it. They can post a link to the video, I don't care, all right? What they don't realize is that that's akin to telling blacks that, well, you know, you're better off, be glad you're not slaves anymore. But blacks are still treated inferior. They still make less than whites do. All right? But somehow that's okay. That's what it is akin to. That's what it is akin to. Any discrimination is wrong. It's illegal. It goes against the grain of our country. All right? And some of these people, they don't understand. Oh, they say, well, you're guilty of discrimination because you want the illegals deported. Hello, the illegals broke the law. They're criminals because they entered the country illegally, and then they come to the community and they cause problems. All right? They're not legal. I won't even call them immigrants. They're illegal aliens. All right? They're not immigrants because immigrants come to this country, they learn English, and they give so much to this country. All right? And they generally want to be Americans, and they're very peaceful and law-abiding. Immigrants, that is. But illegal aliens are criminals. When they come to a community, they cause nothing but problems. That's a fact. That is a fact. All right? And the racist thing about it is that these illegals are dumped into communities of color. Communities where there are already immigrants and other minorities. Maybe a lot of blacks. They're always dumped in the black communities. The white people never have to deal with that. So let me just end this video with this, all right? This is Christmas time, all right? We shouldn't be so heartless and cruel right now, the way we are. The amount of bigotry, indifference, racism, and downright snobbery on this island has to come to a stop, all right? We will all be worse off when the buses are cut. We will all be worse off. It will affect you, even if you don't take the bus. It will affect you. This is why we cannot allow this to happen. And this legislature has just made it a lot harder now to stop these cuts. And I think now that the legislature has done this, now is the time for the county just to sell its bus system to the MTA. The county refuses to fund the bus system. They have no business owning it anymore. The MTA needs to come in and take this over. All right? That's what they need to do. And some of the comments to say that these buses aren't crowded, the N88 is not crowded, they will find their way on their own to the beach. All right, walk 5 miles in the heat and humidity down that bike path from Cedar Creek. People can't afford taxis. They want $20 to go from the beach. Yes, they do. From the Freeport train to the beach, they want $20, sometimes even more. All right, for like an 8-minute ride. All right, these people don't have that money. Those people coming from the city, they won't go to Jones Beach. They're going to go to Long Beach. They'll go to some other beach. Maybe they'll go to the Jersey Shore. And that'll be less people going to Long Island, less money into the economy. Oh, up goes taxes again. So you people can be as ignorant as you think you can be, but it will affect you. It will affect you. And I don't want to leave this beautiful island of ours, but it is being ruined. And I know when the time comes that I'll have to throw in the towel. But I'm not quite done fighting for Long Island yet. Take it easy.